One of the biggest decisions a franchise can make is deciding on who they want to steer the ship at quarterback in the long term. Now, there are so many variables that go into this decision, whether you're drafting a rookie to become the guy, trading to go get him, or taking a shot on someone in free agency. Now, if I was the one pulling the strings for a franchise and you asked me to put my job on the line for Tua Tagovailoa to be a guy I can count on to take our franchise to an elite level consistently, I would, for lack of a better term, pass on that. Now, that's not to say Tua doesn't have ability. That's not saying he isn't a great teammate or somebody that people gravitate to in a locker room. It's because the man can't stay healthy. Now, we've seen the trend of him getting hurt going back to his time at Bama and now in the NFL after being in for only 2 years. And Tua's injuries aren't just minor. It's his hip, his ankle, his foot, his ribs, and the list goes on. Now, I know all football players deal with injuries of some sort, but the consistency of Tua not being available lends me to believe he will continue to follow that trend. How can I rely on a guy who isn't out there consistently? Now, to me, the arm strength question is somewhat silly. While he doesn't have the best arm in the NFL by any stretch, his fastball is good enough to be able to fit it in skinny windows like a little burglar. Now, if he was a humongous person and had these injuries, like let's say a Big Ben Roethlisberger, I'd be worried, but not as worried. Tua's not a big guy in the NFL by any metric, and any clean contact on him could be devastating. And I hate it for Tua because he wants it so badly and he does things the right way. People who carry themselves like Tua do on and off the field deserve success, but I'm not going to risk my franchise's long-term health on a guy whose health is a big question mark. Now, the Dolphins will have flashes of brilliance this year, but putting all of your eggs in the Tua basket is pretty dangerous. He is turning into the Mr. Glass of the NFL, and I don't see that changing. Bringing in my co-host David Cohn, Inspector Perot from Agatha Christie books as well. Look, guys, Tua, like I said, I'm rooting for the guy. I hope that he can somehow stay healthy. But if you're telling me that I'm the GM or I'm the guy that's making these decisions, and it's the way I put food on my family's table is to make good decisions in these situations, I'm not doing it for Mr. Glass. I mean, again, it's a matter of time before he's going to break. And we've seen it in college. Now we've seen it in the NFL. And again, I don't like it, but it is what it is. It's a business, man.
How much of this injury, of Tua's injury problems are from college? You think he's still dealing with the same problem?
Of course. I don't think when you have injuries that are, and maybe devastating isn't the word, but they are major enough where the rehab is hard enough and you can get back. Nobody's 100%. Nobody's ever 100%. But it's not like Tua's getting any younger. Mm-hmm. It's not like these injuries just go away, and they've piled on each other from foot all the way almost up to face.
So your reservations are only about his ability to stay healthy?
Yes. Okay. That, to me, is the biggest thing. Now, if he was as healthy as anyone ever and he never got hurt, do I think he would be the best quarterback in the NFL or a top 3 or top 5 quarterback? No. Okay. But a top 12, top 13, good leader, good organization guy that people want to go play with, guy that offensive linemen want to protect and receivers want to go get the ball for, and the defense wants to get stops to give the ball back to? Heck yes. But again, I am not. It's like checking the Carfax. To me, when I look at Tua's Carfax, well, we got some damage here, some damage here I didn't know about. When you look at Tua's Carfax, like Carfax. It's worrisome.
Hey, you pulling his Carfax, man?
I'm pulling
we all have Carfaxes?
Yeah, the Fox is running in here. He's like, listen, the dude's ankle's a disaster. His ribs are put together with bubble gum and tears. I mean, again, he can't stay healthy, David.
I was so big on him coming out of college. I really thought he could be like this generation's Russell Wilson. You know, maybe not quite as mobile, but to be that efficient. And he hasn't been able to stay healthy, and you combine that with the fact that he is still young. I mean, he was having trouble staying healthy at the same time he was trying to be in the NFL.
Unlucky.
Right at the beginning.
He isn't. Think about it, Blaine. When he got to Bama, I think it was in one of the first practices, he breaks his finger on an offensive lineman's helmet.
But some guys are just better college quarterbacks than pro quarterbacks.
Yeah, so he just has final destination injuries, and that's the word. So there's not loads. Carson Wentz.
Explain to people who don't know what final destination injuries.
It's like you're not spraining your ankle, okay? You're not spraining your wrist, pulling a hamstring, you're breaking something.
It's like Carson.
Something's getting dislocated. So it's nothing simple, and you can't trust it. I mean, certain things in life you can't trust. All right, robots.
True.
Don't trust it. Your girlfriend's male best friend. Can't trust it.
Never
3,
trust them.
2 is staying healthy.
Yeah.
You can't. And at this point, you got the weapons. You got the weapons.
Yeah.
One of the best receivers, one of the best tight ends. Your offensive line got better. Your defense got better. But can he stay healthy? We always bring this up on this show. Certain quarterbacks know how to get hit correctly.
Yes.
All right, know how to fall correctly. And I promise you, in football, learning how to fall correctly is a real thing, even after getting tackled. And 2, when it comes to that, it's just goofy.
Well, it's, again, I don't want people to say that or to think I'm saying Tua is a bad quarterback. That's not what I'm saying. But if we're having to discuss whether you can stay healthy or not, again, they say like in politics, if you're explaining, you're losing. Like if I'm having to explain to you why Tua can stay healthy or that I hope he stays healthy, there is a problem there. And again, they've surrounded him with a bunch. Tua doesn't have to be a guy that goes and runs for 400, 500 yards a season or tucks it and goes crazy. But it's just being a smaller stature guy. All it takes is one play. All it takes is one. It could be a late hit. It could be somebody catches you down low, picks you up, and poom-paw slams you in the ground. Hell, with Tua, he could, I don't know, step wrong and break his leg. It's stuff like that to me, and the past injuries piling on each other. It just, you're not in the trust tree with me.
Well, he did come into Miami when they were in the middle of a rebuild, which happens a lot of times when you're a top 5 pick. Like,
Yeah.
you're a part of that, right?
Well, why wouldn't you the number 1 pick? You want to know why? Because he got hurt.
And how often did we hear the phrase tanking for Tua? We heard tanking for Tua when this kid was a freshman and still ended up going number 5. So, but look, Miami, the Dolphins still have the ability to be an elite franchise. We've seen them do it before. He does have weapons now, to Blaine's point, and now a new head coach, Mike McDaniel. How do you think he plays into this situation?
Look, I like Mike. I think he's kind of a new flavor in the NFL.
Good
like, again, he's, goes about it a different way. And look, it could be a great fit with Mike McDaniel and Tua. And the offense can be a great fit. But it only takes one play. Like, it only takes one play. And we've seen it happen again and again. So, like, we can talk about how good Tyreek Hill is and Jalen Waddle is and Sticky Hands Jasicki at tight end and the pieces that they've put around him. And everybody's loving each other and it's great and we're together. And Tua's like, well, if I can't hear you, I'm not listening to you. Well, again, good. That's great. But that's not, you can't use that over an injury to heal somebody. You can't break your leg and all of a sudden the trainer goes out there and he goes, but the rapport between you and the receivers are so good. Like it's some sort of spell they teach you when they put you in Ravenclaw.
So how many more seasons do you think Tua will be in Miami?
2.
This season and another?
Yes. 2. I don't want to make
Take that over or under over there, Blaine.
At Miami?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I want to sit here and take the over. I really do, but I don't know how you can. I really don't know how you can, because you just feel like you're waiting on everything to fall.
Hey, if you like that content, go ahead and subscribe. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, String in a Cup. As long as you're listening, we appreciate you. Go subscribe now. It's Crane & Company.